Okay, hi guys. In this video, I'll be looking at Unit 1, Combining Materials, Mixing and Setting, page 86 and 87 of your textbook. It is very important that if you have not read over these pages, that you pause this video now and that you first read through these pages, otherwise they're not going to make sense. I am not going to read through them with you because you guys are nice and big and you can do that yourself. Right, so let's go and look at some of the important things. Right, there we go. Okay, so in our previous activity, right, we learned that we can combine different materials, the ingredients from our cake, to make a dough, right? Then we process those materials by putting them into the oven and baking them, and then we got a product that was useful and tasty, hopefully. Right, so there are many other materials that we can combine and process to give us products. Here are two examples. Okay, boxes that we use to package things and to transport things are made from pine trees. Okay, paper is another example, made from wood. Okay, then here's another example, peaches that we usually have over the summer months, but we can process them and can them so that when we want some peaches and there are no peaches around anymore because it's really cold outside, like right now, then we can have some peaches with custard. Okay, now in the next section, we're going to be looking at mixing and setting. Okay, now this is a very important process because it is very useful. Okay, now you have written down all the keywords, okay, and you've looked at them. If there's any of them that you don't understand, I want you guys to leave me a message or send me a message on my phone and I'll see if I can explain that to you. The first ones we're going to be looking at is mixing and setting. This is a very, very important and very useful process. Okay, so mixing is we mix the things together. Setting means it becomes hard in a specific shape. Okay, so this property is very useful because we can shape the mixture so that it sets in a particular shape. Very, very important. Okay, now in this section, we're going to look at three important substances here, which are just three examples of many. First one is cement. Okay, used in building. Right. Second one is plaster of Paris. It is sometimes also used in building, but that is often used in art and creating ornaments. And then polyfiller, which is used by, well, anybody who has a home. If you have a hole in the wall where let's say there was a portrait and now you want to move it and you don't want to look at the horrible hole, okay, then you take polyfiller, you mix it with water, right? You push it into the hole, you make sure that it's nice and flat when you're done, and it hardens, and then you can paint over it, and it looks as if that hole was never there. Okay, so first one we look at is cement. Cement is an awesome material, okay, that when mixed with water, it becomes very runny, but becomes hard when it sets. When sets means you let it stand, okay, and what basically happens is the water evaporates, okay, and the material becomes hard. Right, now whenever working with cement, it is important that you are careful. Cement is a very acidic substance, which means if you work with it a lot with bare hands, it can actually damage your hands. Meaning, do not play with cement without your parents or an adult with you. Okay, right, then the next important thing that cement does, or cool thing that cement does. Cement acts like a glue in concrete. Okay, we mix it with sand, gravel, cement, and water. When we combine those, it forms a very strong material called concrete. Okay, so people often make the mistake and say that, oh, this underneath my feet is cement, where it's actually concrete. It's a mixture. Cement is when you only mix it with water. As soon as you mix it with sand, gravel, which is small rocks, and water, then you combine it to make concrete, which is an extremely strong material. These can also be poured into molds, okay, shapes that when it sets, it takes that shape. Okay, Then it can also be reinforced. Now, later in technology, we'll learn more about reinforcing. And that is when they add metal rods into the molds, when they shape them, okay, so that it makes it even stronger when we need to build dam walls and bridges. Okay, the next one we look at is plaster of Paris. This is a very fine material made from gypsum. When you mix it with water, it becomes soft, and you can pour it into a mold and you can make nice ornaments. I'm sure you guys have all seen these um, packs that you buy at the stores where it has little molds and plaster of Paris, and then you make your own little fairies or fish or something, and you paint it very nicely. Okay, and the last one on this page is the polyfiller that I told you guys about. So here we looked at the process of mixing and setting. Setting means it becomes hard when you leave it. Very, very useful property. Okay, in the next video, I'll be discussing the next three methods that we're going to be looking at. Love you, bye.